Happy weekend. We survived another week, and welcome to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Pizarro. It is always a pleasure and an honor for you all to join us every week to find out some of the wonderful things that we've got going on in Low Country. And I am going to date this show, which means we probably can't use it for a rerun, but rest in peace to Prince. We have all been so consumed over the last 24 hours talking about his sudden, untimely passing, and we believe that he is with the angels and he is rejoicing, and that it was time for the Lord to bring him home to do something special with the choir in heaven. And speaking of choirs, it is the season for the McDonald's Gospel Choir Showcase. And to that end, our first guest today is Dr. Charles Wallace, and he is the Vice President of International Sales for Footman Brewer Enterprises. So we want to welcome, I'm going to call you Dr. Charles. Is that okay?
That's not a problem.
Okay, welcome to Low Country Spotlight.
Thank you, glad to be here.
So you said it is the season, it is time for the showcase.
Yes.
Tell us about the kickoff and tell us what we should expect going forward in the next couple of weeks.
No problem. Well, we're in the 9th season, the 9th year of the McDonald Choir Showcase, and this year we're added another flavor to it, which is the Pastor and Leadership Conference, which will kick off on Friday, May 6th, at the Embassy Suites. And this is, the theme for that is weathering the storm. We knew that so many pastors had been going through storms and trials and tribulations, and so we wanted to create a space where they could come, be poured and imparted into. And so we're going to be blessed to have Bishop Paul Morton to come and be the guest speaker, keynote speaker. We're also recognizing 2 local pastors who we feel have weathered the storm. Pastor Kenny Collins in Goose Creek, and pastors Stephen and Marlene Williams in North Charleston.
I just got a chill when you said that. You know why? Because those are my pastors.
Oh, wow, wow,
and
wonderful.
You know, I had been following Facebook and I've seen them doing the interviews. And so this is so wonderful an opportunity to talk about the fact that pastors are being honored. Talk about weathering the storm. I mean, we hear so many things in the news, not just dealing with pastors, but I mean parishioners and saints in general. Talk to us a little bit about what you all hope to accomplish with this new facet that you all have injected.
Well, with weathering the storm, we wanted to create a space again where pastors could come and not feel like they were on stage, but could really be poured into. And pastors are some of the most loneliest people there are, just because they have no one to touch, no one. They can be married and still be lonely. And so sometimes they think they're all alone. So we wanted to create a space where they would feel that they're welcome and that they could just relax, but more importantly, be poured into by someone who's weathered the storm. You know, Bishop Morton lost his church during Katrina, you know, health issues, and just having to recover and build again. And so that's one of the reasons we created the special luncheon just for them. But also hopefully later on there can be some dialogue. Later on, and just in spaces where they can come in, be imparted to with, you know, cutting edge knowledge, information that's happening in the ministry world.
And that is so interesting a point, because the first point that I want to make is pastors are the loneliest people in the world, because you think about when you are leading a congregation of, you know, hundreds in the thousands, and these people look to you for your guidance. And, you know, of course, they look to the Father, they look to God, they look to their relationship, but at the same time, there are real world issues that they have to deal with. So this seems like a wonderful forum in which to do that. And the second thing, technology, and the fact that, I mean, I grew up in a small CME church in Walterboro. And I mean, giving online, you know, things that you can do, you know, so many ways that technology has actually reached in the church. Talk to us a little bit about how their pastors are going to be able to learn more about that and just come cutting edge and moving their ministries to the next level.
Absolutely. One of our major sponsors is BB&T. And so there will be a session where BB&T will come in and talk about literally wealth, personal wealth for the pastor. Because not every church is a mega church. Only 1% of churches in the country are mega churches. And so there will be a component for that. Urban Ministries International, Urban's Ministry Incorporated will also be there talking about their wares, about their technology, who else? We have someone else coming. Edward Jones will be there as well.
Okay.
Speaking of the services they can offer the pastors. And then what we do as a company, as Footman Brewer Enterprises, we're formulated, not a formula per se, but we've created a ministry module where, you know, like you said, when we grew up in small churches, a lot of churches don't have websites now. And a lot of times now people are determining before they come to your church, they look at your website.
And let me stop you right there, because there is a young minister in our church. I think he relocated his family from Atlanta. And when he realized he was coming to North Charleston, he went on the website. He gave a testimony, and he went online looking for churches. And when he came across Lord the Harvest Christian Faith Center, he said he saw the website, saw something through that screen in Pastor Stephen and Marlene Williams, and said and said to his wife, "This is the church we're going to join." So what about the little tiny church in Walterboro that thinks we can't afford to have a website? We don't have anything to put on it. You know,
no, everything is affordable. And you have to be able to be in the times. And literally, people are determining if they come to your church. First impressions. So they look at the websites. And then the second thing they look at is when they get on the property, is it curb appeal? You know, how does it look?
Does it look nice?
You wouldn't stay in a hotel if it was already on the outside. Same thing with the church. You know, you wouldn't go to a hospital if it's falling apart. And that's what the church is, a hospital. And so we're trying to bring principalizing, you know, building a bridge basically to let people understand that the church is a functioning organism that's living in the 21st century. And so we want to be able to offer solutions to churches in all aspects, just even in accounting, you know, following with, some churches have a challenge sending out the contribution statements. So we have resources. We have a team led by myself that's versed in understanding how to get the best product for the church that's affordable.
And it's so, it seems like the church is changing. There's a metamorphosis that's taking place. And the fact that you all, Footman Brewer Enterprises, has developed a module for church growth and taking church into the 21st century. Why'd y'all do that?
Because there's a need. There's a need. And because, again, every church isn't a mega church. And every pastor is not called to pastor to thousands of people. So to the little small church that only have 100 people, be the best 100 people church there is. But you know, do it in excellence, do it as unto the Lord, and do it where at the end of the day you've touched someone's life. And we're really passionate about that.
Okay, we're almost out of time, but let's talk about Prince. Isn't that horrible?
Oh, it was sad, sad, sad.
Would you say that Prince, the music of Prince, and just his musicianship and his intellect, is that something that you think was transferred to gospel and choir and churches and things of that nature? When you think of some of his songs and, you know, he's being backed up by a gospel choir, do you think that his influence was not just in rock and roll and R&B, but also to gospel music?
Absolutely. You know, I was reading some other articles as we're being inundated with a lot of articles about him. But I think the biggest thing is that, you know, someone said he was a conservative Christian. And that so he had a faith. But as far as a musical genius, he certainly was that. Very creative. Had an opportunity to actually deal with him. I was in the hospitality industry. He had a very, you know, bizarre request. He wanted the room blacked out and purple jelly beans and stuff like that. But you know, we certainly will fill a void in losing him. Such a creative genius, and he was changing the way. Even, I mean, he's doing most of his performance at 1 and 2 in the morning. In small, intimate settings. But definitely, he created his own genre of music, and I'm so glad I grew up in the 80s. And, you know, when he came out. So we're fortunate.
Yes, what a loss. But thank you so much, Dr. Charles Wallace, for being with us today.
Thank you.
We will have all of the information about the McDonald's Choir Showcase. We'll have that on our website. We also have some flyers I think that you might have seen throughout the course of the broadcast. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Low Country Spotlight coming right up.